Joe, well played. Another great performance from your team. How pleased were you with the 4-0 win today?
Yeah, look, satisfying. We tinkered with some things and did a couple of different things today. And at times it got a little bit, we were probably a little bit, we didn't take care of the ball well, especially in the second half. There was a couple of times where we overdid things, but all in all, satisfying, and it's good to have these games of control, but also be able to dictate what we need to do.
You created a lot of chances during the game, didn't you? Took four. Their goalkeeper had a really inspired game as well. It must please you as a manager that you create so many chances during the course of the game.
Yeah, look, it's part of the way we play, and like any manager, if we weren't creating the opportunities, you'd be worried. But we are creating chances, and it's satisfying from that perspective. And the goalkeeper had a fantastic game. She saved some point blank saves. But all credit to Bristol. They kept a good defensive structure and good structure that we had to break them down, and at times they made it difficult for us.
Do you think, in all honesty, that the two late goals put a little bit more of a realistic scoreline on it?
Look, it's not for me to comment. The chances missed, maybe. Was that the right result? As I said, for us, it's important that we win. It's the way we play, and as long as we're sticking to our methodology and our style, and creating chances, the goals will come.
You got a video meet him up front, of course. Two more today. She's as good a striker as I've seen in the women's game. What sort of a joy and a pleasure is it to have her in your team and to work with her?
She's an amazing person. She's a great character, great student of the game, and just a fantastic girl. And we talk about Viv, what she does, obviously in scoring goals and finishing games off, but what she does around the ball and off the ball, her positioning is phenomenal. So it's an absolute pleasure to have her as part of our squad.
And Jordan Nobbs got the captaincy now and scored again today. What a great player she is, isn't she?
Yeah, look, she's proactive. She starts all our defensive structure, and the positions she gets herself into, she's very, very hard to mark. And all credit to her. She's worked so hard over the pre-season, and I look forward to keep working with her, and obviously looking forward to a World Cup at England with her.
3 points clear now with a game in hand. I know you won't get carried away and you won't say too much on that at the moment, but surely it must be beyond your wildest dreams at the start of the season to have been in this position. Look,
it's always difficult to say, because you stick to the way you build things, and you stick to the way you work, and you have a good pre-season, and you believe in the way you want to play, and and once the players believe that in the way you want to play, in the methodology, then it grows from there. So at the moment there's a great belief amongst the group, and a great unity and camaraderie amongst the group, and they just love playing for each other and playing for Arsenal.
Next week it's Birmingham City. We know the score last year when you met them, so a little bit of a score to settle there, perhaps?
No, I've got no scores to settle with anyone. We just play each game for the merit that it is. We respect every opposition, and the important part is that we play our football and get the 3 points, because they're a very good team.
Tanya, I suppose under most circumstances a 4-0 defeat would have you down, but the players couldn't have given any more today, could they, against a real quality team?
No, I think from our perspective, the girls for 80% of the game did exactly what we asked of them. They played under extreme pressure, made a couple of mistakes, which Arsenal, they're a good side, they're going to punish you for those mistakes. But in terms of the in and out of possession, I thought we were okay today, and take some real positives into next week.
Of course, the first goal was a little bit of a lucky bounce, a drop straight for Jordan Nobbs in front of the goal. She was never going to miss that. But I suppose the second goal coming just before half-time. If we've gone in at 1-0 at half-time, who knows? Yeah,
and again, that goal's come from us giving the ball away, which is disappointing from our perspective. But if we don't try and play, we're not going to make those mistakes, which is one thing. But if we don't try and play, we're never going to actually build and be the team we want. So we need to limit those errors. But I'm proud of the way the girls continue to try today with the ball, and from our perspective, there's some real positives to take into next week.
Yeah, I was just going to say that second half, certainly the last 20 minutes, they had a go, didn't they? They tried to get themselves back into the game and inevitably got caught pushing forward. I suppose as a manager, you prefer that, so just being pinned back.
Yeah, it's 2-0, and the result is Arsenal are in control. So from our perspective, you might as well go and see what we can do. We always had an eye on next week, building towards Reading as well. So we want them to go out and play, and they did that. And there was a couple of individual mistakes for goals and some really good finishes as well. But if we're never going to progress as a club if we don't try and play.
On the whole, the defence played really well throughout the game, and Sophie Bagley again had a tremendous match. What a quality asset you got in goal there.
Yeah, she's brilliant. You know, she'll be disappointed she's had to pick the ball out of her net 4 times, but from our perspective, she's the rock and the foundation that we build off, and she's kept us in it again today, which is you know, fantastic for her own performance, and great for the club.
From here, though, you go to Reading next week. You're level on points with them. You've had a great start this season. You'll still be able to, despite today's result, you'll be able to approach that game with confidence, won't you?
Yeah, exactly, and we spoke today, you know, about today's performance being about the process and not necessarily the result, because Arsenal are a great team, and having a focus other than the result for us to build on for next week. So, you know, if we go back and have a look at the areas we asked the girls to perform in, I think for 80% of the game they did that. So it's a great little foundation for us to go into next week's fixture with.
I know you weren't here last season, but last year they took 2 rather heavy defeats against Reading. So if you can get a good result against them, that gauges a lot of good progress for the club, doesn't it?
I think so. I think, you know, we've got internal goals we're working towards. You know, we know where we're at. We reviewed them this week, so all the players are really, really clear. We're happy with the progress we've made, and moving forward, it'll be a great test for us against Reading next week.